All right, guys. We're gonna look at this game, but I want to take you through some other Blitz games. Wait, okay, yes, they do got the time control here. I was about to freak. Um, I guess we could just do these last three. I guess we could just do these last three. This last one is a treat, though. And you see, they're all quick. This is kind of the theme in Blitz. Um, Especially at the I'm only 200 Blitz, so you know, different time controls. You kind of have to play for a different strategy, and for the most part, it's just a straight up checkmate. So we get D4 or we get E5. E5 is always a weird move when you go D4. When you go D4 London type setup, it's always a weird thing to see. You know what I mean? Because it's just this is a completely this is already winning because it's upon up white game, so it's kind of going to speak for itself. And this is a completely winning position. I don't know why I didn't take this pawn, guys. I do not know. You know, but I wanted to castle. Oh, I did. So there we go. And then here, um I guess this check was just that deadly. I'm not really sure why. Um, you can always just block, and I mean, yes, trading off is not necessarily the greatest thing, but the benefit of trading off in this position though is that you're only down one pawn, and there is some legitimate like tactical problems that have to be solved. Like definitely some tactics that could be in play. Now, I mean that's not necessarily a good jump at the moment, but it has some potential to be. So yeah, but um I guess this position kind of psyched him out, honestly, and he resigned. I mean, he didn't resign. He flags. He flags. Um, but I mean, this is one of those that you can kind of easily convert. And actually, well, Ricky one is just like that's like a very boring move. I would not have seen that. I'm gonna be honest. It's just a little too boring for me. But that's life, so you have to deal with those little transgressions we all have. Anyways, I said transgressions. Real aggressive. Let me go to the next game. Yo, what's going on? Bro, I swear chess.com be bugging, bro. This is another flag. Okay, the last game is not a flag though. I can promise you this. So we get a Carl Kant as Grandmaster, and actually I don't think he's the champ of Blitz and Rapid anymore. I think he did hold that title at one point, but Carl said that. That's where I got it from. Anyways, wait, we got to talk about the fact he blundered this bishop. So this is one thing. This is one thing I'll say about the Carl Khan. You know, because especially at the lower levels, and I am only at 200 Blitz. This is a short time control, and it's very feisty and tricky. So, but here, like you see how dominated these light squares are. Look at this. Look at this. Not one diagonal for this bishop to enter safely into, other than here or here. Oh, whoops. Here or here. Those are the only safe diagonals. And honestly, a bishop e2 would not be that bad. A bishop e2 is not the worst thing in the world. You maybe get eventually screw you over there, or or just chill. I mean, even if my moves tries to patrol out, or whatever, or even even offer a trade, whatever. But don't do this. I mean, that's just free. But the light square complex that it's quickly built too. It's very quick in the Card too. This light square complex, you're going to notice in a lot of your Card games, you're not getting like this bishop is just not going to be much of a problem. Like a lot of times, what they'll do just and out of pure frustration too, they'll do this. They'll do something like this. They'll go exchange on you. You know, I'm kind of in my bag right now, guys. So I'm kind of getting a little bit tubular. And honestly, actually, let's do more of like, well, no, the is no, because they go like this. Yes, yep, yep. They call it the hillbilly, and when you get this right, a lot of times what you will get is something like this into check. Just always block with the knight. I think, actually, I just, it might be in one of the recent videos that I talked about the this check right here. Just never block with the bishop. Never block with the bishop, because they never get too much counterplay with like. Now they're saying bishop e2 here, but they do have like counterplay opportunity, especially if they already have something like out here. Now this is obviously a mistake, because this would hang the bishop. But like I'm just saying, if in this position, black's turn, it's a very hard position to actually defend, because this is actually hanging. So if you do something like this, they'll easily take it. Now you're under fire bad. You know what I mean? So just gotta be mindful of that, because they're going to try. You see, in this game, he tried to get the light square bishop to an active square. Now, if I had to guess about this move, bishop c5, it just was probably a pre-move. Because now not only are you down a bishop, but we've exchanged pawns in the center, so the center is less defined, which will always benefit black. The reason it'll always benefit black is because white, in most cases, in most games, is going to be the attacking. So the center is open. That helps the defending party. So this open-ish center we got here, it benefits me in all facets. So yeah. But yeah, trades, pretty straightforward stuff right here. We both cast, but I'm just up a piece. So like, and you're gonna, and sometimes you get greedy. Don't do that. That's just a free rook, and it's technically 2 free rooks, because after this, you're lost. You are lost. And it might not look like it's losing, because you're still up. You're actually technically now up a pawn. But not only have you created a weakness, you lost both your rooks. And they still have a rook. But you didn't trade the queens. Now, if somehow before, let's say he waits on this move, right? He waits on b6, right? He doesn't play b6 immediately. And he says, all right, fuck it. Let's say, all right, I castle, and instead of playing b6, he says, we can trade queens, dude. So he plays this, and like, well, no. I gotta really get a good I gotta really find a good spot to like for this queen there. Let's just say you play like this, right? And let's just say I even offer it to him, right? Because I'm up a piece. And then he plays b6. b6 immediately, if I take, becomes completely losing. Even with because you can't move this knight, and this knight is pretty much done. Well, it's not done, but you know, it's a big problem. And you got two isolated pawns. You got a knight that's not doing nothing, and it can't do anything because it's stuck guarding a rook. It's all bad. So don't get the tunnel vision on the pawn thrust, because this pawn is not really going anywhere. You know, honestly, whenever you see things like this, and they think it's a sound tactic because they're undoubling technically, and they're either forcing you to double, which in this case is just horrible because it's a losing. It's tactically losing if you do that, but it's also just a way for the losing side to kind of get some type of initiative. So like by taking but like in this case, it's a clear initiative that they get, but um, um that's just like the whole point of like the pawn thrust. Like you'll see that. Um, but from here it was a pretty straightforward position to convert. Now this tried to be scary, but that was really the only thing. Like that was like what that was the only thing that was really hanging. So this was just it's another game, and he flags too because he for whatever reason didn't realize that he moved his shit there for that to But I mean, this is still losing. This is still losing, but at least you get this afterwards, and then I have to play. I have to do this. I have to run all the way back with my horsey. So like, there's some level of counterplay slightly that you get, but um, two rook, two rooks for or two pieces for a rook is always going to be um, winning for the two pieces. Um, just every time, like even if it was, if we trade these rooks off the board and I go knight and bishop versus rook, knight and bishop will win, especially considering. Now in this position, it's gonna be kind of hard. I'm definitely gonna have to get my king active. So like, let's say he plays a move like this, which isn't really a threat, but like let's just say he played the move. I'm gonna have to like bring my king to like kind of strengthen my position. But it's life, so sometimes you got to do your own thing. All right, now this is a pretty cool game. This is a pretty funny game, and if you've seen the little pattern, the checkmate pattern, you know anything about the pattern, you would know that this is just a really cool game. So I get in my London system, and we decide to trade off each other's like um, bishops completely. Like all the bishops are gone, so it's a two knight concept, and in two knight concepts, white is always going. I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion. Now here, I'm actually losing. Apparently, I'm actually slightly losing. I couldn't tell you. Rook e8. Right, 95. Takes. Oh wow, this is crazy because this is exactly what this exact line is what happened in the game. Like we literally followed Stockfish. Well, actually, no, I lied. We followed Stockfish for like them 3 moves, and then after that, he went on his own thing and randomly took that. And now, this is the thing about. This is why I say white would more than likely be at least just slightly. Now, right here, it's +1 because this is a deadly tactic if not guarded right. And yes, Queen E7 is just a move. Wait, what? Oh yeah, no, knight. Yeah, that's the right move. But but see this right here. Many would say, now this will lose the game in spectacular fashion. By the way, so don't play a move like that. Now this is a fine move. This is a fine move. Now, you see there, it doesn't even like the move, but like, and I'm kind of pointing out these knight moves because um, the knights have to have support. You know what I mean? Like if you're this is why this move is just What? I don't even think that's losing for real. Takes on D2. Oh, it's probably because yeah. I mean, Queen of. I ain't gonna lie. In this position, it's hard to defend if you don't stop takes on. If you don't stop F7, you know, you just didn't stop F7. That's kind of like the moral of like the complete moral of this game, but for instructional value, like this from here, like um, your knight you just have to be mindful of like, does your knight have support, and you know, when you're here with your knight and you're playing as black, you might think it's good because you got this. Um, but like I said, white is always slightly better because they maintain as long as they maintain the initiative. And in this case, I technically did because I am down a pawn, meaning I gave up a pawn just to have one more like improving move. Like, let's go back. We can go back and talk about it because right here, castles, and you know I could have castled here. Like, it would have been fine to just completely give up the pawn, but I was like, let me do that first, and then let me play here. And you know, here though was when it's like, okay, now it's time to recap. And honestly, you know, let me see. Oh no. Taking is losing actually. Yep. That wait, knight c6. Or I mean knight c6 is I don't know why. I'm not sure why it's losing, but it's only -1, so you know, in life you can't really judge a -1 position. But if your knight has no support, you know, it's kind of just there. And this his actually does, right? And so does mine. Um, but like I said, it's that initiative that I had, and it's the lack of monitoring the threat. Now, um if from here, and you know, it's kind of it's always wild to me to see such concepts get missed when the piece delivering that like tactical blow usually like in my experience usually the piece I just captured or just moved or did something with, you know what I mean. So like when I looked at this, for example, when I looked at here in takes, like I knew, like, okay, obviously I knew that by castling I was giving up this one right here. I was conceding a pawn. Well, really, I was conceding the c4 pawn. If we're being honest, because that's the one that got taken for free. Um, and just going like, okay, if he takes again, I get my queen out, and SpaghettiOs f7 is really weak. And you spot these things by just noticing the continuity, because you see he gave a check on e8, which was a good check. You know, it was. It forced you know, my knight to be in the way, but once you've allowed the position to kind of get molded into such a way to where it's actually now in my favor, it's just GG. And here takes queen d5. Queen d5 is like unnatural. Queen d5 is just unnatural. That is just an unnatural move to make. I'm gonna be honest, it just is. But the only reason I say it's unnatural though is like, I mean, okay, probably for like a 200. I'm just saying, like, for a 200, they're not gonna be willing to trade queens being up only one pawn, bro. That's just not. And I mean, it's obvious that he didn't do that. So, all right, let's get into it. Smothered mate. That's what happened. It is. That's just what happened. So, and the way you get to this, and the smothered mate is one of those. It's one of those checkmating patterns, and the reason I was beating around the bush so much in this game is because this is one of those. It's because it's one of those patterns. It's one of those patterns where it's like there's a sacrifice, obviously. Well, I'm not gonna say obviously because not everybody knows that. There's a sacrifice. There's there's a level of understanding continuity. There's just a level of tactical understanding and knowledge and positional awareness that has to be had to know when you can actually go for a smothered checkmate. So here, I'm gonna be honest. I knew F7 was scary, and I knew by taking on F7 I was going to win. But I did not know once he let me take on F7 that I was going to win by smothered mate. But you know, it's kind of just the way it goes. So here, right? It's still not mate. You see, it doesn't even say mate. This is, and that's the beauty of the smother mate, is that it's only mate if they take this bait. If they take this bait, it's G. It's literally G's. It's wait, no, not here. Wait, no. Well, no, actually, yeah. This is how it is. You see, it's literally either a losing tactic or a completely winning tactic. But the thing about it is, though, you always realize that more than likely they just take. And I'm be honest here, this probably really wasn't like the right moment to actually go for it, because yes, the rook can take. Yes, the rook can take. I mean, yes, the rook. What? Ah, fuck. I'm fucking trolling. But the king could take here, and you know, now you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's actually like more of a. There's more things that need to be in place. Like honestly, needs to be like a bishop defending, or some kind of pawn, or it has to be something defending this queen to where the rook has to take. That's really how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go, because in this position he can just take with the king. But you know, intuitively you kind of have to feel out these moves, and you kind of have to know that, you know, at this level, players are not really going to understand this concept fully, because it may seem like, oh, the king has to have some escape, but it just doesn't. Like the king boxed himself in, and once any check is just going to be made, and you know, it just so happens that the knight is the only piece that can actually deliver such a deadly checkmate, you know, or well, yes, a checkmate such as this. To be honest, the only other possibility is if this was like on G6, we get like some kind of fianchetto bishop like type of deal, and somehow, some way, I have a dark square bishop sniping, and it, you know. But even this is still not made, because you always have a block, so it's, you know what I mean. And you know, obviously you take and all that good jazz, but yeah, it's life, you know. So you're gonna be a little smothered, honestly, with these ideas, like, because again, this wasn't really the right moment to go for it. It wasn't the right moment to go for it. This was like this was done a little bit early. It was done a little bit early, like, right, so like that. And even the computer's telling me like, just go queen b3. Like, you won the free pawn. Take your free pawn and get up out of there while the getting good. But you know, sometimes you just gotta go for it. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, especially in a blitz game. You know, with this time control, you just have to go for it. Like it's life. Like you're gonna get checkmated yourself, and you're gonna fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like he really had a tactic for me, and I wasn't ready for type shit. And that's really just how it goes. Like, if, you know, if you know, that was, and I said this in my trying to win a chess video, which will be out later, or it might be out already. I recorded that video already, so like it's past tense for me regardless. Um, but yeah, they shooting, they bucking outside. I don't even know why. I guess the power just got cut back on, so I guess it's cause for celebration too. It's really sunny outside too. I don't know like how that happened. Like it was literally storming like a couple hours ago, and now it's like sunny, as if like the storm just like completely passed over. I don't get it. But um, like I was saying, um, it's just you're playing on a shorter time control. There really is no time to overthink your plans. So, like I was saying in the last video, if you have a plan and they don't really notice what you're really trying to do with your plan, just go ahead, go for it. Don't even like trip about it. Just go ahead and full send the plan and live with the results.